Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to talk about the Kerala Story movie. When the Kerala Story released in 2023, it was not just another film entering Indian cinemas. It arrived as a political event, promoted aggressively as a true story. It claimed to expose a hidden reality about Kerala, one that mainstream media and political elites had supposedly concealed for years. According to the film's narrative, thousands of women from Kerala were systematically radicalized, converted, and trafficked into ISIS controlled territories. The claim was shocking, disturbing, and designed to provoke fear and outrage, and it worked. But the real question is not whether extremism exists, it does. The real question is whether the story told by the film reflects reality or whether it represents something else entirely. Propaganda disguised as truth. Kerala as a state occupies a unique place in India. It has the highest literacy rate among the best health indicators, low levels of hunger, and one of the strongest record on social development. It also has a long history of religious coexistence. Hindus, Muslims, and Christians have lived side by side for centuries. This does not mean Kerala is perfect, but it does mean that any claim portraying it as a mass breeding ground for extremist ideology demands extraordinary evidence. The central claim of the Kerala story, initially promoted as over 32,000 women being recruited into ISIS from Kerala. This claim collapsed almost immediately under scrutiny. Journalists, courts, and civil society organizations asked a simple question: where is the data? The filmmakers could not produce any variable source. Eventually, the number was quietly withdrawn and replaced with vague language about inspired by true events. But by then, the damage was done. The number had already entered public consciousness. Official data tells a very different story. According to Indian intelligence agencies, the Ministry of Home Affairs, and the National Investigation Agency, the total number of Indians who attempt to join or support ISIS since the group emerged is in the low hundreds. From Kerala, estimates range between a few dozen to around 100 individuals over many years. These numbers include men, women, and families. Every single case is serious, but seriousness does not justify exaggeration. There is a massive difference between dozens of cases over a decade and tens of thousands of victims. One represents a security challenge, the other suggests societal collapse. The film deliberately blurs this distinction. Now, let's talk about the reality of ISIS recruitment in Kerala. Yes, cases existed. They were investigated, arrests were made, surveillance was conducted. Kerala police worked closely with central agencies. There is no evidence, none, that the state machinery ignored, enabled, or protected extremist networks. Most documented cases from Kerala share similar patterns. Radicalization occurred online. Individuals were exposed to extremist propaganda through encrypted platforms and social media. Recruitment did not happen in public spaces or religious institutions. It happened in isolation through global digital networks. This is not unique to Kerala. This is how modern extremism works everywhere, from Europe to Southeast Asia. Many of those involved were educated, middle class individuals. This challenges the simplistic idea that poverty or lack of education automatically produce extremism. Radicalization is far more complex. It involves identity crisis, alienation, ideological obsession, and sometimes personal trauma. But here is where the film becomes deeply misleading. It presents these cases as a part of a coordinated mass-scale conspiracy targeting Kerala's women. It implies that conversion itself is inherently suspicious. It collapses the difference between voluntary religious choice and violent extremism. This is not analysis, this is fear-mongering. ISIS recruitment in India has been geographically dispersed. Kerala has never been an outlier. Other states recorded equal or higher number of ISIS-linked cases than Kerala. Yet, no film portrays those states as civilizational threat. This selective outrage reveals the political intent behind the storytelling. Cinema has always been a powerful political weapon. When numbers fail, emotions succeed. The Kerala story relies heavily on shock, victimhood, and moral panic. It portrays women as helpless and brainwashed. This portrayal is deeply patriarchal. Real research on radicalization shows that while manipulation exists, individuals are not empty vessels. They make choices, sometimes terrible ones, shaped by ideology, relationships, and belief systems. The film also taps into the larger narrative of so-called love jihad. Indian courts have repeatedly stated that adults have the right to choose their partners and their faith. Forced conversion is already illegal. By merging consensual interfaith relationships with terrorism, the film manufactures a moral panic. Moral panics have always existed in history. They thrive on exaggeration and selective storytelling. The truth about ISIS recruitment in Kerala is this: it existed, it was limited, it was addressed, and it was never unique. The state did not collapse, the society did not implode. Kerala remains one of the most peaceful regions in the country. To exaggerate this reality into a story of mass radicalization is not just dishonest, it is dangerous. Thanks for watching.